Alright, so... Again, no legendary. Oh, I accidentally opened this epic because it was Tentacles for Arms. Perhaps my favorite card name in the set, other than Squid Face, obviously. So so Tentacles for Arms, the Death Rattle, return it to your hand. It's 5 mana for a 2/2 weapon. Again, this is a hard card to decide on the value of, just because the fact that you're guaranteed a 2/2 weapon all the time. In Warrior is okay. It's pretty good, but the fact that it costs 5 mana is not great. 5 mana for a 2/2 weapon is not spectacular. So Tentacle of Inzoth, again, is sort of a weird card. I like it. I foresee it seeing play in Warrior, but maybe in some sort of mid-rangey other decks, but we'll see. Bog Creeper, again, great in Arena. Nice little 7 mana, 7-drop in Arena. Power Word Tentacles, worst felons chosen, basically. All right, so we got Scarum Cultist. We got a gold one of these. I think this is the 4th of these, which I've drawn so far in this pack, or in this pack opening ceremony, as it were. This one's golden though, so that's neat. Might be the second golden of that, I think. All right, so moving on. Still 4 commons. Oh, a golden Amgam Rager. Great. Sweet. I really appreciate that. Zealous Initiate. Again, pretty solid 1-drop. I like him. Especially if you can get that second proc off. Faces Behemoth. Again, there's your Arena Bomb for the set. Common Arena Bomb for the set. Grotesque Dragonhawk. It could be good, could not be good. We'll see what happens. Spreading Madness. YOLO. Moving on. A friend of mine opened a legendary here. That would be nice. Primal Fusion. So give a minion +1/+1 for each of your totems. Pretty interesting. Light in the Darkness. Again. Paladin Unstable Portal. Bog Creeper. Again, we've just opened one of those. Possessed Villager. This is the return of Zoo if Zoo comes back. So Aggro Warlock is going to be quite strong. He opened up another legend. I have a friend that just opened up 2 legendaries in a row. I'm a little jealous at the moment. That's fine. Darkshire Librarian. I really like this card. It's going to be really quite good in Zoo as well. Alright, so we got here. Spawn of Inzoth. So Death Rattle will give you minions +1/+1. We've discussed him. He's okay and very minion heavy. There's another Hooded Acolyte. Looks like the Hooded Acolytes want to get back in on the action. The Carrion Grubs were making them a little bit jealous. So moving on to Evolved Kobold. That card's terrible. Moving on. Eldritch Horror. So yeah, another very solid Arena Bomb. 8 mana for 6/10. It's going to do a lot of work for you in Arena, but don't expect it in Constructed and the higher up on the ladder. Doomcaller. It's nice to have a second one of these, though I'm not sure if you want to run more than one, because it is 8 mana for 7/9, which is okay stats. It's not spectacular, but you know, if your Cthulhu's dead, having him around is quite useful. All right. Next set of packs here. Faceless Behemoth, again, solid bomb. All right, Stand Against Darkness. Again, we've seen all these cards before. Nice little common set there, not terrible. I wish it wasn't Stand Against Darkness, but that's fine. Another Doomcaller. So that's the 3rd one of those we've opened. So yeah, yes, it does. It feels extremely bad that there are no other legendaries. I'm a little upset. Yes, I am. Yes, Freddie, I'm a little salty at the moment, considering I've seen several legendaries pop up in my little friend feed, but I'm not opening any of them. Tentacle of Inzoth, it's pretty solid. A little 1-drop. Again, I'm not sure what deck it's going to go in, but I think it'll see play somewhere. Feral Rage, good options there. +4 attack or gain 8 armor for 3 mana. Both are pretty solid options. Polluted Hoarder. Yeah, more of him. Stormcrack. I'm actually really excited about this card. It is 2 mana to deal 4 damage to a minion, overload 1. Basically, it's Crackle that cannot target your opponent, and it's guaranteed to do 4 damage. This card, it makes me happy because of all the times that Crackle has dealt 3 damage and not killed my target. 25% chance to do that, and it seems to happen 100% of the time. So, I'm happy to have a little bit more removal for shamans. All right, thing from below. We've discussed this once again. It costs 1 less for each totem you've summoned this game. So I'm pretty sure. Maybe chat can tell me. I'm pretty sure that only works if it's in your hand, but I'm not 100% sure about that. All right, so moving on to the next pack here. Still no legendaries, man. We've only opened one this in all 53 packs, or I guess I've opened like 45 packs so far. I've only opened 1 legendary, and it's one that I'm not even that nuts about. So I don't play that much Hunter. So Standing Against Darkness, again, bad muster for battle. Squirming Tentacle, it is slightly better Silverback. Sure. Hooded Acolyte, back in on the action. More of her. Twilight Elder, I think this is the first one of these I've drawn, which is interesting because this is a card that one of the first cards that they revealed from Whispers of the Old Gods, and I was expecting to see a lot of him. He's 3 mana for a 3/4. At the end of your turn, give Cthulhu +1/+1 wherever he is. This card is very solid in Cthulhu decks, and if it basically paints a target on his back, which is always a nice little thing. A nice little thing for if you're trying to gain tempo on the board. Anytime that you draw a bunch of removal for a low mana creature or minion, as it's called in this game, that's always very valuable. Servant of Yogg-Saron, again, Servant of Yellow-Saron. Let's see what happens. Drop him, some crazy stuff happens. Who knows? It could be awesome. It could be also literally lose the game for you. All right, no legendaries in this pack either. Twilight Geomancer, again, great little early game card to help you get to that late game Cthulhu. It's not great on its own, and giving Cthulhu taunt isn't the world's greatest thing, but it will do some work for you. Southsea Squidface. He's fine, but he's Squidface, so I'm a fan. Infested Tauren, he is worse Sludge Belcher. We've discussed him before. He's good value, but he's not quite as good as Sludge Belcher. Let's leave it at that. Bloodhoof Brave, again, cool arena card. Maybe played in some warrior decks, but I don't foresee a ton of him. 2 mana for a 2/6 actually isn't terrible for a taunter. Cult Sorcerer, we've discussed this guy before, but a 2 mana spell damage +1. Get after you cast a spell, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. Much like the cultist from the last pack. This guy paints a target on himself, which is great for anything that is trying to make it into the late game, try to make it to that Cthulhu. Anything that can draw removal is very, very strong in that sort of deck. I'm probably not going to disenchant that legendary. I'll probably hold on to it for the time being. But hey, who knows? Nope, no legendary in this pack either. Twilight Elder, yeah, this is the guy that I was talking about when drawing removal. So we'll see. Twisted Worgen, I like this card. The more that I think about it, I think this card is strong, but I don't think it's so strong this can be played in every single aggro deck. I think it will see some play, but the fact that it's basically guaranteed attack is pretty solid. Look, there's another one. Hi, Twisted Worgen. You're very twisted. Darkshire Alchemist, again, not super nuts about this card, but it is definitely a solid option if you're trying to survive until the late game as a priest, which you typically are. Forlorn Stalker, we've discussed this card early in the pack opening, but I think this card is strong in certain situations. Unfortunately, it says Death Rattle in your minions in your hand. I wish it was Death Rattle minions in your hand or on the board, but it's okay. We'll see how things go as the game ramps up throughout the rest of the season. All right, so there's an epic in there. Two epics and 2 rares. None of these are legendaries. Light in the Darkness. It's a golden Light in the Darkness. It's Paladin's version of Unstable Portal. So that's pretty strong because Unstable Portal is already pretty strong. Spreading Madness, once again, another one of these. It's sort of YOLO removal. So we've got Doomcaller up next. So it saves your Cthulhu, but this is the third one of these that we've opened. I'm not super nuts about running more than one of these, but you know, who knows? It could be good with 2. I mean, 2 mana, 8 mana for 7/9 isn't terrible stats. It could be worse, could be better. All right, Blade of Cthulhu. I talked a lot about this card. I kind of wish it was just a spell that did not have the body attached to it. I understand that would be relatively unbalanced, but I don't think it's great as a 9 mana 4/4. What do we got here? We got a Golden Crazed Worshipper. It is a 5 mana for 3/6 taunt. Whenever this minion takes damage, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. This is I actually see this much like some of the other guys that give +1/+1 for when a thing happens. So this guy is only really susceptible to direct removal or something that does 6 damage, like a fireball, because then it only gives Cthulhu +1/+1. It's not however much damage it takes; it's whenever it takes damage. So this guy is going to draw a lot of fast removal, a lot of targeted removal that doesn't deal damage, or perhaps it draw a big attack from a big minion, always valuable. Or it's just going to draw a bunch of dudes, and your Cthulhu's going to get real big. That's cool too. Could be worse.
Lightning round time. It looks like we only have about 2 more minutes.
Okay, lightning round time. We got 2 more packs to go.
Lightning round.
We're getting tossed out of our studio because that's how things happen here at Yahoo eSports. Psychotron, little big brother of Anoyotron. Squidface. Twilight Elder, again, quite a little solid 3-drop. Corrupted Healbot, sort of the corrupted version of Antique Healbot. It's 5 mana for 6/6, restores 8 health to an enemy hero. I think this card is awful. It should cost a lot less than 5 mana. Disciple of Cthulhu, it's 3 mana for 2/1, deal 2 damage, give your Cthulhu +2/+2. We've talked about this. It's good value to have a minion that also deals direct damage, but also good plus Cthulhu, because why not? All right, so we got 1 epic in here, and that's it. So we've drawn a single legendary out of 53 packs, guys. That feels real bad. So on the hunt, worse. It's bad. Feral Hunter, it's good. Cult Apothecary, Battlecry deal for each enemy minion, restore 2 health to your hero. It's fine. It'll do stuff. Flame Roof Faceless, it's quite good. I'm a big fan of that card. And our epic, our final card for this, is Forbidden Healing. Spend all of your mana, restore twice that much health. It's a Paladin card. This card is good. It will be maybe played. I don't know. It could save you in the late game. Anytime you gain that much health in the late game is pretty darn solid. All right, guys. So that's all 53 packs so far that I have opened, and everything has been spectacular except for the fact that I only drew 1 legendary. I'm really excited to get some death building, and thank you guys so much for watching. This is Yahoo eSports.